do anything to the highway, it would become a bottleneck. It is the government that is interested in bypassing Linden. And to say it is the Brazilians, really and truly, is classic PPP propaganda. Now, let's assume the Brazilians would have said that. Is it the people of Linden to be blamed, or is it the fact that the government does not consult with the people of Linden? They seek consistently to destroy the community, and therefore the source of the problem is not the people of Linden. If there is good governance in the society, the people of Linden will be comfortable. They have made many promises to the people of Linden and they never deliver, and the people never protested. But this government created the conditions for what has happened here.
Let me just make a point, you know, on this. I've said too. For the 20 years this government has been, this party has been into office, they have lied all the time. And I tell you what, they're going to keep the people of Linden on the view that they will be preparing Linden, that the highway will come to Linden. They're talking about Deepwater Harbor and what have you. I've said, I've consulted with everybody that I know in shipping, maritime, and all of them have said to me that the question of a Deepwater Harbor in Linden coming to Georgetown, it may not be possible. Over the years, the bauxite company, you know, has been shipping something like about 6,000 metric tons from Linden coming to Georgetown on any ship because of the channel, the depth of that channel, the draft of that channel. That's the reason why you had a basin be in the Demerara River behind the market there, right? You had a basin there where you had a ship or container, or what you call a silo there, where they used to be loading, keeping bauxite. You come with your 6,000 from Linden, and when you meet to the silo there, you top up to go.
Is it the same for Borbis? Isn't there a basin?
Borbis, they have a basin, right? A basin there that all that you can carry out is approximately 30 to 32,000 tons, right? The volumes that you're looking for from Brazil, and let me be frank with you, they have in Borbis you have from Crab Island, you have to dredge from there to the mouth of the Borbis River, drop that channel. In Demerara, you're talking about 60-something miles. How will you be able to dredge it? So I believe what these people are doing. These people are holding us with the hope that they, you know, we are going to bring in this thing on board. And at the last moment, I believe that their plan is to divert everything to Borbis. This is how they behave. Aubrey made a point of what Jack Dio did. Jack Dio went on his first visit to Linden, and he said, we will make Linden the industrial corridor of in this region. We make the industrial corridor. Since then to now, you have not had one major company that enter there and give you 150 jobs.
There is one. Before you go, there's one. The PPP supporters go and carry away all the steel, all the scrap iron, and sell it at an exorbitant price. So the people of Linden who work their soul case out can't get it. They have a PPP man named Forsyth. All they do is give to PPP supporters all the scrap iron from Linden, and it is exported, and the money is made by people outside of Linden. And Sam Hines tries to tell people, but they have Linden at heart.
In addition to the increase also, and Mr. Norton talked about the jobs this afternoon in the meeting with the president, he said to us, when Mr. Solomon talked about the high unemployment rate, he said that if we remember during the campaign, he said that they would carry 1,000 jobs to the region. That Bosai, the company, they wanted to do some expansion, but they had a meeting while we were meeting with him in China, and they had concerns about this expansion and creating these jobs based on what is happening in
When these concerns came about? Today, yesterday?
He's saying recently he was informed that for the company that wanted to make a significant investment into the community is reconsidering because they're concerned as to what is taking place on the ground at the moment. Again, I put forward to the president that what is, and I know you will get to this point late in the program, but what is taking place at the moment on the ground is one with which the government would have created because of not wanting to come to consult with the people. It is not one that the people are targeting BOSAI. We've not indicated in any way BOSAI or the bauxite company or nobody has been threatened. The actions demonstrated by the people so far at Linden would have not given rise for any of those concerns to be as sincere as the president indicated. So we are seeing this, as Mr. Lewis said, at the last moment, a duck out in the commitment to provide jobs and to provide opportunities for the people of Linden.
Let me just
Linden, just
before you go on.
Stakeholders in Linden seek some audience with these companies to get a clearer understanding of where they're at and the possibility of a relationship.
Let me give you an example. We have concerns. There is a dust collector. In fact, I heard the Prime Minister was on TV yesterday and he made so many glowing remarks about this dust collector. And 2 weeks ago, I sent a letter to BOSAI outlining to them that I am not going to attend. I will boycott any launching of the dust collector until the representative of the people are satisfied that there is a level of efficiency, there is a certain standard, and there are compliances. Outside of those, should they fail to meet those compliances and efficiency, what type of sanctions and actions that will be taken? I haven't gotten a response. The point is that even to engage these companies, we were told that this matter is being dealt with the EPA. When I spoke to the representatives of the EPA, I was forwarded to the Ministry of Natural Resources, and to date I haven't been informed as to and what exactly the concerns that we have, how they will be addressed. So we have been held at bay while the government is acting on our behalf, and we are uninformed.
But I want to go back. I want to go back to Mr. Ramatar's statement. Unless Mr. Ramatar sees into the future, if he is saying that the people are in China discussing and worried, this management would have left for China. These incidents occurred yesterday. There was no incident before that suggested that
There's instability.
there's instability. Unless he is a seafar man, how do they know, and the Chinese know, that yesterday was coming and therefore they're discussing in China the instability in Linden? I believe that it is the normal political ploy of the PPP, where they seek to blame people who they oppose for everything that happens. And logic will tell you that that couldn't be. That is another of the PPP tricks.
Well, the point that Aubrey is making, both Aubrey and the chairman are making, let me just say to you, I do not believe anything that BOSAI and the government say to me. There was, when Minister Passad took over the environment, this was a big splash. One of the big splash was bauxite. They're going to create so many jobs. They're giving them back 37. They're going to make more light. Anybody who know the industry, you don't make more light, right? You don't make more light. You make a product, right? You don't mine it. You make a product. You mine a certain product to make to make something looking like thing. You don't make more light, right? And Sylvester Carmichael, in an article, he spoke about it. And when you go back to all this guy writing, since Rusal came here, they talk about alumina plant and what have you, what they're going to do. And the guy prognosis have been correct, that you will never see this type of thing. What the guy
So
did.
Carmichael wrote about that.
Yes, Carmichael wrote about it. Block 37 is the largest deposit you have in the Linden, in the Demerara area. And to say that you want to make more light is, and the government jump at it, well, Salmons ought to know that it don't happen, is to put their hands on the people's resources. This is the only country that where you sell your bauxite resources, sell your reserves. This is the only country that operate. In places like Jamaica, in Suriname, if you want to have bauxite, if you want to mine, all the reserves, in fact, are held by the Jamaican bauxite industry. But the institute with all the reserve, and if you need reserve, you need added production level, you apply to that institute.
Does this suggest a difference between regimes, that in the Hoyt era, though they privatized, they didn't sell the reserves, and that under this regime they've sold the reserves?
In fact, Bosai has exclusive rights to Black 37, which has an economic value of over $6 billion US. In fact, this was listed. This was one of the items that were listed in the letter that we sent, asking that though the discussions were centered around the environmental concerns, we also wanted to discuss about the developmental issues with regards to Bosai's activity within the region, and to see in the long term how we as a region and the representatives of the people can start to better understand how they will benefit from these reserves. At the end of the day, we are not satisfied with the benefits that we're getting at the moment, and we would want to know what type of security measures would be in place so that we can benefit from this Black 37.
We started this program.
The chairman is asking, just let me just follow up.